Iran has allowed these 5 Americans who the US argued had been wrongfully detained to leave the country. We saw them touching down in Doha earlier. Some of those Americans stepped onto the tarmac. They were greeted by American officials and they spent some time on the ground as part of a stopover before boarding another flight bound for the United States. Now, in exchange, the US has granted clemency to 5 Iranians who had been charged or convicted here. 2 of them are returning to Iran. In fact, they've already done so. And the US has also facilitated the unfreezing, essentially, of the equivalent of more than 9 billion Australian dollars, Iranian oil money largely, that had been held in South Korea. So those funds have been transferred to Qatar, which helped to broker this deal, and the US insists that that money now can only be used for humanitarian purposes. But some Republicans in Congress argue that even if that is the case, it will still free up money that Iran could use for other purposes. They've also argued that this deal will only incentivise Iran to take further American hostages. The Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, has defended it though. He says that it was a high priority of the Biden administration to bring these Americans home and that he spoke to them over the phone shortly after they landed in Doha.
It was, for them, for me, an emotional conversation. It's easy in the work that we do every day sometimes to get lost in the abstractions of foreign policy and relations with other countries and forgetting the human element that's at the heart of everything we do.
Now, the US and Iran are, of course, long-time adversaries, and some analysts are sceptical that this deal carried out today really will lead to any broader shift in the relationship, given the tensions between the two countries, most notably over Iran's nuclear program.